Incident 4493-1. The following is a log of posts on Void, dated from June 1st through June 7th, 2019, leading up to the creation and spread of SCP-4493 by Person of Interest 6870. Void is a social media platform akin to Twitter, used by people of paranormal communities from behind the veil. Begin log. Legolas Queenqueef at Elven Drag Queen says, "So now that #Pride Month has officially begun, how long do you think we've got until the first woke corporate tweet?" The Factory at The Factory says, "The Factory supports #Pride. The Factory loves #LGBT. The Factory is producing #Rainbow merchandise. Buy the merchandise. Let others know you are proud of your lifestyle with your purchasing decisions." At Elven Drag Queen says, "At The Factory, literally 4 minutes. Welcome to hell, girls and gays. It's only gonna get worse from here." Iris Dark at Iris Dark says, "As a proud #trans #lesbian and COO of at MCD, I am living proof that #LGBT people can do whatever we set our minds to. Happy #Pride to all my trans sisters." Anti-Gamer Action at Lesbian Gengar says, "MC&D are blood-sucking capitalists who keep literal unicorns in cages so they can sell their horns as morning-after pills for rich fucks, but their boss is a lesbian, so they're woke now." Blunt Fiend at Jude K2 says, "I'd like to announce a new Mr. Against Weed. His name is Mr. Pinkwashing, and his power is to make corporations stop pretending that they give a shit about the gays. Coming soon to a pride parade near you." Dr. Wondertainment, trademark, at Wondertainment, says, "At Jude K2, hey there. Just a quick reminder that #Little Misters is the intellectual property of Dr. Wondertainment. Any attempts to create an infringing product will be met with legal action. Have a #Wondertaining day." Marshall Carter and Dark at MCD says, "Happy #Pride. Marshall Carter and Dark is showing our support for the #LGBT community by donating a portion of all profits this month to the #Human Rights Campaign to support their efforts to pass the #Equality Act and ensure equal rights for all." At The Factory says, "In honor of #Pride, all Factory Overseer drones will be equipped with #Rainbow body armor and truncheons this month. Market research suggests that you will find this soothing. Buy our products, support the Factory, support the #LGBT. At Lesbian Gengar says, "At The Factory, I hope everyone retweeting this doesn't know what the Factory actually is. It isn't joking about the Overseer drones. This isn't a funny parody account. It's a malevolent extra-dimensional parasite, and y'all should stop giving it a platform." Anderson Robotics at Anderson Robotics says, "Anderson Robotics is proud to be a sponsor of the #3Portland's #Pride Parade. Keep an eye out for our float, which will be escorted by Kestrel Series domestic utility units painted in all the colors of the hashtag rainbow. Jumping Jehoshaphat at JockJams Volume 6 says, "Oh sure, when the police want to march in the parade, everyone says that the first Pride was a riot. But when I want to loot an electronics store, everyone conveniently forgets, ? Double standard much? ? At Wondertainment says, "For hashtag Pride Month, Dr. Wondertainment, registered, is releasing a new line of Rainbowlicious, trademark, bubble bath bonbons, registered. Show your true colors with a rainbow of fun-filled foam. They'll be available by special order from @MCD, but only as long as supplies last, so act fast." UIU Portlands at UIU Portlands says, "Happy hashtag Pride Month from the UIU. This month, the hashtag UIU celebrates the diversity of our workforce and recognizes the contributions our LGBT colleagues have made in their service to the country and the unit." Harm Pit at Gunch says, "While the FBI are busy marching in the Pride Parade, I'll be downloading 7 terabytes of illegal cognitohazards on the library computers. If they come to stop me, they lose their queer street cred and have to start over from level 1, ally minus." At Iris Dark says, "Iris Dark donated over £6 million to homophobic MPs because she knew that a Tory government would give her a tax cut. She deliberately removed coverage for transgender health care from her employees' benefit packages because it would save her money. Happy hashtag Pride Month." At Iris Dark says, "Unfortunately, my account seems to have been hacked. I did not post this message, and I am unable to take it down. I am currently working with @Void Support to resolve this issue." Joyce Rand at Joyce Rand says, "Whoever hacked at Iris Dark's account should feel ashamed of themselves. She is an inspiration and a role model, and this kind of petty slander is just embarrassing." Keefless in Seattle at Polar Ice Craps says, "At Joyce Rand, image attached, a meme which reads, 'Be gone, liberal.'" At MCD says, "Marshall Carter and Dark have possibly the worst human rights record of any corporation, anomalous or non. We are going to go through this in no particular order because, man, does McDee's have a lot of crimes to answer for. Let's do this. Part 1 of ... At Jude K2 says, hashtag Pride Hacker. Listen, if I was going to make a new Mr. Against Weed, I wouldn't have posted about it beforehand. I practice better security culture than that. You can all stop adding me now." At MCD says, ... not to mention the sexual harassment many former MCD employees have reported at the hands of both their superiors and their clients. And that's not even considering how MCD treats sex workers in their employ. ... Part 13 of ... At UIU Portlands says, "Google COINTEL Pro, or for that matter, just check out the FBI files on it. This isn't explicitly about gay rights, But it's not like everyone they murdered was straight, you know. Link attached. https://vault.fbi.gov/cointel-pro. @MCD says, ... The immortal souls of innumerable queer men and trans women who died of AIDS-related complications, siphoned through an effigy located in their New York headquarters, which has since been relocated to an undisclosed location in sub-Saharan Africa. ... Part 27 of ... The stars are left. @Syzygy says, Yo, the #PrideHacker is in meat space now. That big rainbow @Anderson ad on Milkbox Boulevard now says, Office culture at Anderson Robotics is intensely transphobic, and upper management turn a blind eye so they don't have to fire their best engineers. Post-Optimus Prime @Transistor says, @Syzygy, it's true. I was fired by Anderson for reporting transphobic comments my boss made after I came out at work. No trans person has lasted more than 6 months on the R&D side. @MCD says, ... and that's all just since World War II. So yeah, if anyone shouldn't be allowed to pinkwash themselves, it's Marshall, Carter, and Dark. Happy #Pride Month. Part 45 of 45. @Elven Drag Queen says, The #PrideHacker is a hero. We just need them to move off of Void and onto Twitter. Mundane corporations need to be exposed too. The Sex Monk @TontureDaddy says, @Elven Drag Queen. Image attached. A screenshot from Twitter. A tweet by Absolute Vodka @AbsoluteVodkaUS, which says, Happy Pride. #AbsolutePride. #Pride. The rate of alcoholism in the LGBT community is twice that of the general public, and that's great for Absolute's profits. @JudeK2 says, ... Whoops. End of file. The SCP Foundation database is produced and narrated by Joshua Alan Lindsay, and, more like Rainbow Crapitalism, was written by Chewbacca. Support for the database is solely provided by our patrons on Patreon. Please consider supporting the show at patreon.com/the SCP Foundation database to gain access to exclusive benefits, including bonus content, joke SCPs, merch, the ability to request episodes, and an invite to our private Discord server. If you enjoy the database, consider leaving a rating or review, and stay connected by following any of our social media profiles. Links can be found in the episode description. Happy Pride.